So what the heck am I talking about when I say I help sensitive people bring the vertical into this world? Like, what does it mean? What does it mean to live in this world more vertically? And what does it mean to live in this world more horizontally? We're going to talk about that today. What does it feel like to live in this world in a horizontal way? And what does it feel like to bring the vertical into this world? How does it benefit us? What does that mean? What am I talking about? So when I say go vertical, when I say get vertical, what I mean, what this is really describing is getting in the quantum realm. Get in the quantum realm. Get where all things are possible. Get with God. Get in the present moment. Connect with who you truly are. Remember who you are. It's so funny because I have some clients who I'll say, remember who you are. And they'll be like, thank you. Like, that's all I needed to say. Or go vertical. They're like, I got it. I get it. That's all I needed to say. That always cracks me up when that happens because there's something, words are just pointers, right? We're pointing to an experience. We're pointing to something. Always with words. Words aren't the experience, they're just words. They're just descriptors. They're pointing you to something. So when I tell clients like get vertical or remember who you are and they know what that means, like what is that? What are we talking about? So when you're in that place, when you're in that quantum realm, when you're vertical, when you know, remember who you are, when you're connected with God, when you're connected with all possibilities, limitless possibilities, like remember that we're kind of making this all up. This is kind of like a dream. And you're in the present moment and you're realizing that this is the only moment there is. You're connected with eternity in that place. How does it feel? Like when you're in that place, it feels very different, right? Than being very vertical into this world. I mean, it feels very different than being horizontal in the world. And we're going to talk about what it feels like to be horizontal too. But there's a reason why I talk about bringing the vertical into this world. I'm very passionate about it. It's because we are programmed from a very young age to be horizontal. And I believe that there is a force in this world that wants to keep us horizontal. And we're going to talk about what horizontal is, what that feels like, what that means. And honestly, it's kind of a spectrum. Like we're always both. You don't have to worry that you're not going to be within the 3D world anymore or that you're not going to be horizontal. We are horizontal. We're in a realm that requires us to be horizontal. But we don't want our spirit to be horizontal. So it's kind of a spectrum, like we're always both, like introversion versus extroversion, right? We have a little bit of both in us, but which side are we leaning into? So I guess you could really simplify it and say, if you have gotten too horizontal, like how do I know if I'm too horizontal? Honestly, if you feel pretty bad, if you feel miserable, any spectrum of miserable, that's a clue that you've gotten horizontal. I should say that's a clue that you've gotten too horizontal. Because you still want to be horizontal. You want to be acting within this world, but you want to bring the vertical world into it, okay? So what does it mean to get to horizontal? It means that you're looking for yourself within the 3D world. It means you're looking for something that it cannot give you. It means maybe you're looking for happiness within the world. You're looking for the world to give you something that it literally can't give you. So in that place, your energy is going this way. It's needy. People can feel it. You know, it's like when people can feel that you want them to be a certain way or act a certain way or do a certain thing. People can feel that from you. So it's like when you go around people and your energy is more vertical, you're not looking, they don't feel the strangling energy. You're not really looking for a reaction from them. You're not looking for anything from them. It all lies within you, right? And that goes for anything within this world. This goes for people. This applies to people. This applies to things. Like we could be looking for things to give us our worth. We could be looking for me, what I find is I look for like reactions from others. I look for reactions from people to like tell me. I think I was kind of, as a kid, I was a people pleaser, right? So I like to make everyone happy. And I found like if I could make people happy, if everyone was around me was happy and okay, then I was okay. Instead of being okay first, instead of not relying, this world changes, people change, everything changes so often within this 3D world. We do not want to put our worth, our identity on it. I am eternal. I am with God. I'll never forget the time that I went to a party and I had two of my best friends that I grew up with were at the party, right? And we had a dynamic within this friendship that I felt, they probably had no idea, where I was the youngest and I felt like I was ignored a lot. Like I was kind of not taken seriously. This is kind of a pattern within my life too. I tend to be the youngest. I have older siblings, and I wasn't taken seriously. So I felt like they kind of, a lot of times when we were younger, they would be talking about things and like I would say something and they wouldn't even hear me, right? So this happened, I've told this story before, So in my 30s, I think I was in my late 30s, maybe early 40s, I went to a party and they were there and we were all talking and I found this similar dynamic happened. And I had done all this work on myself, right? And I was like, oh my God, like this is still happening. I started to get very horizontal, like looking for them and kind of getting mad at them and looking for them to react to me differently. And what I did was I went to the bathroom, I looked in the mirror and I said, that is not who you are anymore. I got vertical. I reminded myself who I was. That is not who you are anymore. And I went back out to the party, not caring about their reaction. I was ready to still let them treat me that way. Not that I was letting them, it just was happening. So I was ready for it to still be like that, but I was going to be okay with it. And then I went out and they reacted to me completely differently. They were interested in what I said. It was like I walked out into a different party. I got vertical. I got vertical and the horizontal world changed when I got vertical. But again, I wasn't dependent on that. I was not dependent on the horizontal world changing. If it didn't change, I was okay because I knew who I was. It was almost like I was almost surprised that it changed. A pattern that I have in my life is I would look for people close to me to act a certain way, or even not close to me. I would look for other people's responses to tell me who I was, right? And that's just no way to live. And also it sets you up for failure and it sets you up for disappointment. And also I feel like it sets you up for misinterpretations. I do this to my husband sometimes. I'll just totally misinterpret what he said from a place of my own self-worth, from me feeling a certain way. And I feel like this can happen in really subtle ways sometimes that we're not aware of. Just check in sometimes. Is your energy going this way? Is your energy, it's a needy energy, slightly needy. I'm not saying overly, it could be overly needy, but it doesn't even have to be an overly needy energy that's very obvious. It could be just am I looking for a response from someone? Am I looking for someone to treat me a certain way? Or am I deciding within myself, do I realize that my safety lies within? Am I realizing who I am? It doesn't matter how others are treating me in the moment. It matters what I'm thinking. So when we go into the horizontal world, when we go into this world and we do things, we have to do something, and we bring the vertical with us, we remember who we are, things are lighter. If we go too horizontal, the other thing that can happen is there's nothing wrong with effort. I think sometimes effort gets, in the spiritual world, effort might become a bad word. I mean, there's nothing wrong with effort. Especially aligned effort, it feels really good to go out into this world and do things. But when you bring the spiritual with you, things are lighter, things are easier. So yes, there is a force in this world that wants us overly vertical, that wants us to look for our worth within the world, that wants us to look to everything outside of us, right, to make us whole. There is a force within the world that wants to keep us there. So it's totally okay. Have goals within the world. Do it. But just remember, your worth isn't attached to any of it. Take it more lightly. You are literally eternal and nothing can change that. You are eternal and nothing will change that ever. So how do you stay vertical? You remind yourself. You set reminders. So you watch videos like this, or you read something spiritual, or you meditate, or you pray. You have some sort of routine within your day where you remember to go spiritual. Pam Gregory talks about booking stillness meetings with yourself. For me, I need time and space to be with God. I like to be in nature. I like to be with my garden. All those things will help us remember, because the thing is, it's really, really easy to forget. I told you in the last video I was traveling over the weekend, and I spent weekend with family, and it was fun. It was very horizontal. Everything was very horizontal. And I did my spiritual practices still in the morning, but it was kind of like a rush in the morning and everything like that. So coming back now, I'm getting vertical again. And remember, I did a video before I left talking about the peace of God is shining in me now. That was my mantra. The peace of God is shining in me now. I did it for the first day. I didn't completely stay with it. I had other Course in Miracles lessons that I did those mornings, but like I said, really fast. I didn't quite stay with it the whole time, but I feel like it carried me. It carried me through at least the first day. And there were some miraculous things that happened relationship-wise. There were some miracles. There were some shifts in perception that I feel like wouldn't have happened otherwise. So it's not like I was perfect. It's not like I stayed within the vertical the whole time. I knew I was coming back to it, because once you're there, I don't think you can change that you want to come back to it. It's amazing how sometimes when you think you're not making progress, when you think you made No, when you thought you made progress and then something happens and you're like, oh my God, I did not make progress with this at all. It seems like right when you think you did it, there's a miracle. There's a miracle that happens. So I see this with clients all the time. You think you're back to square one, but it's like spiritual growth is just not linear. You know, I've heard that it's like a spiral. I've also heard that it's like a record, like you put the needles on the record and it's closer to the center, but it's still going up and down, like you still feel it. But I'm sure if you're watching this video, you have experienced the feeling of being with God. And once you have that feeling, you never want to look back. You will always remember it and you will always move to it. We're getting closer and closer. This reminds me of the George Harrison song, I really want to hear you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord. Okay, so we're getting back to it. So I hope this video was helpful about describing the difference between horizontal and vertical, what that means, what that feels like, you know, even if it's a slight discomfort, but any like form of misery and any form of like this thing outside of me is going to make me happy or is going to give me what I want or is going to give me my worth. This can really happen with shopping. I like shopping. I like doing it in a vertical manner. Like things work out for me when I do it that way. But when I've gotten too horizontal with it, it's like this thing is going to make me better. This thing is going to give something to me that I'm lacking. You know, it's like doing it from a place, that's literally doing it from a place of lack. This thing is going to be doing something, give me something that I'm lacking. It's going to make me complete. Instead of this thing feels really aligned and exciting for me. I really do believe as sensitive people, we are here to bring the vertical into this world. I find it really exciting when I think about it. I think it's true. The meek shall inherit the earth. So let's vow now. Let's vow never to forget to stay vertical, to bring the vertical with us always. Okay, I hope this was helpful today. My name is Elizabeth Cermak, psychotherapist turned coach, here to talk about bringing the vertical into this world. So this just gave me a thought. Maybe this is my introductory video. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. Go ahead and subscribe below if you want more videos like this. This was my walk video. I was going to do one at my desk and I thought, well, walking kind of helps me think and this might be a good little shift today. So hopefully you liked it and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Also, if you made it to the end of this video, right below, I vow to remember who I am. I vow to remember who I am. Everybody, I'm walking around today, everybody probably thinks I'm crazy. Right below, I vow to remember who I am, then I'll know that you made it to the end, okay? I love you, peace and love.